What's up everyone out there in YouTube land? This is Barry Lovewhistle, and I'm back on Engrosser on Project 1999 Green. I've been spending my time slowly leveling this dwarf, usually while I'm camped out for some raid target on Zaner. So I could have, at level 7, it would have been a pretty good time for me to just make the run over into Greater Fadark, get a bind, and start doing the standard Crushbone thing. That would have been the most time efficient. But I kept reading on the wiki and on old forum posts about how you could potentially stay in ButcherBlock Mountains until like maybe level 15 or something like that. So I kind of wanted to see just how long I could stay here soloing, never going to Crushbone and doing the Crushbone thing. And I discovered a few things. First of all, level 7 is really frustrating in ButcherBlock Mountains. Most stuff is either green or red. There's just a couple of things that sometimes spawn as blue to a level 7, which is mainly the giant bats and large snakes. But once I got through that, 8 wasn't too rough. I mainly hunted south of the crossroads. And at level 9, I discovered this nice little Goblin warrior camp, which I'm going to give a quick tour of because it's just perfect for level 9. And if a undergeared warrior can solo this at level 9, then anyone else can, especially if you've got spells or other utilities. So it's three warriors, and they're outside of aggro range of each other. 2 in the tents and 1 out by the fireplace. So let's kill this last one, and then I'll show where this is and why it's so great. Oh, I also did manage to get a couple of weapons not due to my own killing. The Dwarven Guards are very popular for evil characters to kill. Oh, it looks like I'm about to level. That's awesome. So I managed to get a Bloodforge hammer off Nizal Bloodforge, and a Dwarven Axe, which has a really good ratio. The Bloodforge Hammer is a decent ratio. I was hitting my damage cap, which won't be a problem once I get to level 10, but it's magic, and also, not only is it magic, I didn't realize this, it's a light source. So before I abandon this camp, let's show how to get to it, and what's great about it, and then I'll run back to town because I need to train up some skills and hit the bank real quick. On your way to the crossroads, the last guardhouse before the crossroads has Guard Halden and Dellin Ironblend. Turn right there and go past this. There's always a giant scarab and a worker scarab here, and you get your little Goblin warrior camp, which I'm probably coming back to in a second. And the reason why it's so great, one is 3 easily split mobs that give great experience at level 9. I think every time I killed all 3 of them, it was a little less than half a gold bubble. Really, it was my ability to stay alive that was hurting me the most. They also drop Runny Eye War Beads because, you know, Runny Eye goblins come all the way over to Fador for some reason. When you're running this direction, watch out because these guys are KOS. This is a bandit camp with some named bandits in it, which will be useful once these warriors green out to me. And if you go past them, you have this little guard tower right here. Couple more guards. And inside is a high elf, Felon Razdal, who sells arrows, bandages, water, rations. I mean, he sells everything that you need to just be out here adventuring. But that is this camp. Just wanted to show a little bit of how I was leveling up, because once I get to level 11, I'll be able to finally do probably the most useful quest in the ButcherBlock Mountains. So I'm going to make a real quick run back to town, then probably right back here to kill more goblins. And once I get to level 11, I'll come back in and talk about the Ogre Heads quest. And by the way, those runny eye war beads are turned into Bizarre Bloodforge in the back of the Warrior Guild. 4 at a time. Gives a decent little chunk of experience, considering how many I had to kill just to get those 4. It's not quite Crushbone belts, but I definitely won't say no to it. Well, after just a little less than 2 hours, I am easily 1 kill away from level 11. And by the way, at level 10, it looks like about half of these Goblin Warriors spawn as green to me, but they still give experience. I've still been getting a whole lot of experience from this. And sometimes I'll kill all 3 of them and still have plenty of health left over, so I'll either hop right over there and grab a giant scarab, which are all blue to me, or I'll hop right over there and grab a bandit. You can see I pulled one of them over here and killed him. He's still on the ground. So let's kill one more goblin, get level 11, and then get into the important part of this video, the ogre hunting. All right, level 11. Now it's time to go and talk about some ogres. So I'm going to start off by running over to the crossroads because that's kind of the center of how this whole quest works. So this is the quest to get the Bloodforge armor, which you get actually in the Warrior Guild from Bizarre Bloodforge. And it's kind of interesting that out here where you actually kill the mobs for the quest, they are on opposite sides of where Nigel Bloodforge lives, which I think he is involved in the Bloodforge Hammer quest if you don't end up just killing him and getting one. But there are 2 ogres that can spawn in the ButcherBlock Mountains. You need to kill each of them and get their head. So if you leave from the Crossroads Guardhouse and head west, this will wrap around to a goblin camp. And there is a goblin that spawns in it, and I don't know exactly where he spawns because I've never actually been lucky enough to see him when he spawns, but he will spawn and get to the road and take the road straight back to the crossroads, where he usually gets killed by the guards. There is about a 1 in 3 chance that instead of a goblin spawning, it will be a level 7 ogre warrior named Corflunk. It's odd that he's level 7, because he would be green to me now, so I wouldn't be able to get experience from him. But he drops an ogre head. This would identify as the head of Corflunk. So I've already got him. The other head you need is from an ogre named Zarakumi, who is a shaman who is level 10. That's why I had to get to level 11. And she spawns over here, north of the crossroads. Her placeholder is one of these 2 giant scarabs. I think it's the one all the way over here in the corner. But whichever one it is, there are 3 giant scarabs that spawn right in this area, and I can get experience from all of them. So I will be killing scarabs and hoping to get an ogre to spawn. I know this one isn't it, but I like the giant scarab that always spawns with the worker scarab. It's almost like they're a little family. Well, lucky me. Very first respawn, and I got a Zarakumi. She is busy buffing herself. I sure hope I can still beat her. I'm going to actually wait and heal up a little bit, try and get to full health, just because the last thing I need is to lose a level. Where's she off to? Well, it looks like she just paths north and south down the west side of this little road here. Probably paths right over by where Corflunk paths. But I think I am just about ready. Of course she starts out with blinding me. And I don't have my shield up, so I can't stun her. Alright, I gotta resist. My bash is doing nothing to interrupt her spellcasting, though. I do not think I can beat her. What a waste. It is clear to me that I am not ready to kill Zarakumi yet. At least not on my own. So I'm going to see what I can do about getting a little bit more experience and try to get to level 12 and then try again. So time skip until I am level 12. Well, since the best place to level while I try and get enough experience to be able to solo Zarakumi happens to be the scarabs that include her placeholder, I've gotten her to spawn again. Only this time, I've decided to take advantage of the community aspect of Project 1999 and ask for help. Ardgal is a human paladin who was camping the very same goblins that I was camping earlier. And he has agreed to help me kill this ogre. He's also much better geared than I am. And there she is. My second ogre head. Now I run quickly back inside to Bizarre Bloodforge. So the thing about the Ogre Heads quest, the thing that's kind of frustrating that the ogres are so far apart in level, that it'll probably require some repetition in the quest, is that it gives a random piece out of an armor set called the Bloodforge armor set, most of which would actually be an upgrade to what I have. Let's see, Handolf usually has a couple. The Bloodforge mail is actually not as good as my small scarab breastplate. It's heavier and has lower AC and doesn't have this nice 1 strength, 1 stamina, 10 HP. The gauntlets would be an upgrade over my small cloth gauntlets. And the boots would be an upgrade because they would be magic and I would be able to kick wisps. The real treasure is the helm, which is a lore item, by the way, so don't think you can grab an extra one. So people generally do this quest repeatedly until they get the helm. The helm is 5 strength and 5 save all. If I pick that up, I will probably be holding on to it for quite some time. I just got to find Mr. Bizarre here. He walks around. There he is. Here is Corflunk's, and here is Zarakumi's. Drum roll. And I got the mail. And back out to kill more ogres. Right. Finally, after getting every other part of the armor set, I got my Bloodforge helm. Look at this. 5 strength, 5 save all, plus 5 AC. So it's 1 more AC plus a whole bunch of stats. It is lore again, so you can't get a couple of these and then sell them. But this is obviously going to be an item that I'm going to hold on to for quite some time. And that took way longer than I was expecting. When I started this, I assumed that I was going to get this done and still be level 11. I am most of the way through level 13 now. Also, over the course of this, my guild had a raid after which we ran to City of Mist to look for some Jade Reavers. We didn't get any, but I did manage to snag an Axe of Lost Souls. And if you look at the stats on this item, it clearly says put this on a baby warrior. The ratio is ridiculous, 30 damage, 40 delay. It's also got 10 strength and 10 stamina, which makes you think like, oh, okay, maybe warrior, paladin, or shadow knight, but the -5 wisdom and -5 intelligence pretty much says just warrior. I am obviously capped. I can only access about half of this damage, but it still makes it way better ratio, even at just 14 to 40. It's a way better ratio than anything else I have. So I'm going to be doing the two-hand slashing thing for a little bit. But that has been quite enough of killing ogres. I need to go do something else. So maybe I'll run to Kelethin, turn in that stuff that I got off the Orc Runner, and see if I can't find a group in Crushbone. Until next time, bye.